there are some times, in particular, my oldest has said things to me that would have gotten me a backhand and then some. But I've come through the understanding that, one of the things my wife loves to say is, he's not giving you a hard time. He's having a hard time. And if I can just be in that mindset and understand that when he's lashing out at me, when he's saying things that feel personal, that feel like he's trying to hurt me, it's because there's something going on with him. And he's, 17, he's 18 now, but 17 when we were having some shit go on that, I don't think a lot of dads would have accepted, but I let him vent on me and say things that again appeared personal. And then I just let him sit in that, because I felt like the biggest thing for him was for not for me to try to mend the fence afterwards. It was to let him to sit in what that felt like to lash out at me, someone who is, shown up in a particular way in his life, and just question him when he was calmed down. Like, is this the relationship you want? Because I can be the oppressive prick dad. I can do that. Like, I know how to do that. I intentionally choose not to be that guy. And I want you to have the space to learn, but there are consequences for you doing this. It's safe to do it. So it's very nuanced. Like, it's okay to do it, but understand that we need to have a conversation about this when you have your shit together to figure out what we want out of this relationship. Because I'm signing up for something different than what you're presenting right now. And I think just allowing him to make those almost, I don't want to call them mistakes, because they're learning experiences for him. And for him to feel safe to be able to do that with me. If he can do that, if he can say some shit where you're just like, bro, how could you kids say that to you? And you just allow it, because there's something much deeper going on. He's hurting. Okay, so can I hold space for the pain that my 18-year-old kid is experiencing? Because I don't know what it is, but if he knows that everything's on the table, that no matter what happens, it's really ultimately the long game for me is when the shit really hits the fan, I want to be the first phone call. When they feel like they're in such a pickle that a lot of times, if we don't feel there's a safe place to go for help, we'll try to figure it out ourselves. And we're usually not in the right mindset to make good decisions. So it just becomes worse, right? The cover up becomes worse than the crime, and it becomes this whole spiral. I don't want that to happen. I want to, like I said, kind of create enough space for them to, kind of fuck up, but also know that nothing is unfixable. Right. And we're all meant to learn from these things. And so it's creating these boundaries that are probably maybe a little more expansive than others might have. It's certainly more expansive than I've had in the past. And understanding that they may cross those boundaries and we need to reel them in a little bit, but it's like being conscious about what's going on, and that we're both learning. We're co-creating, like, what is this relationship?